Hello leaders, R. Michael Anderson here. And if you're watching this video, this means you might be having some self-doubt, some imposter syndrome. Well, the very first thing that I want to tell you right now is congratulations. That's a good thing. You say, why is that a good thing? Well, if you're experiencing imposter syndrome, that most likely means that you've pushed yourself or you got placed in a position where you're not comfortable. And it's very, very common to have imposter syndrome. That doesn't mean we have to live with it or anything, but that means when it comes up, that is a natural type of thing. High achievers almost always get imposter syndrome because they keep pushing themselves and pushing themselves to the next level. So I just want to let you know that you're experiencing a very natural thing. Studies have shown up to 82% of people experience that. And in my experience of somebody who's spoken, taught, coached, had deep conversations with very high achieving people. I've had literally tens of thousands of these conversations. Almost every single person has experienced imposter syndrome. In fact, I tell the story where I facilitated a YPO forum before where there was 8 business owners. 2 of them ran businesses over $2 billion a year, and all of them still experienced imposter syndrome. So congratulations, you're right where you're supposed to be. You're a high achiever and you keep pushing yourself to the next level, to the next level, to the next level. Okay, now that we established there's nothing wrong with you, now let's talk about what to do about it. So what the body naturally does is what the mind naturally does is it doesn't like change. It likes to keep you safe. And that's what your ego is doing. So your ego realizes that you as a person are in a place where you've maybe not have experienced, you're not yet comfortable. And anytime the ego is not comfortable, it's going to create all of this crazy inner chatter to tell you why you should run back to your comfort zone, because that's what where the ego likes to be. And so when you can realize that your imposter syndrome, your self-doubt, all that is your ego trying to keep you safe in the best way it knows how, that can often help a lot. Now let's take a look at it from a couple different areas. Every single successful person in their lives have pushed themselves into places they haven't felt comfortable. So whether you look at Elon Musk or Richard Branson or Steve Jobs or Bill Gates, they've all pushed themselves and pushed themselves to these different levels. And so all you've done is push yourself to the next level. And so now that you're here, now that you're on the natural progression of a high achieving person, of a leader, now what I want you to do is to tell yourself this is just like any other challenge that you've gone through before. Because look at your history. Think of something that you've achieved that you're really proud of. Now, I want you to really remember back. Chances are when you started on that journey, you experienced the same doubt, the same imposter syndrome. This is just another evolution of it. What's tricky is sometimes when we get older, sometimes when we actually get more experienced, the imposter syndrome is louder because we create this identity of ourselves as this high achieving person or this person that's used to doing things the right way. And now we're afraid of breaking down that identity. And so again, that's okay. But you've done it before. You've probably done it multiple times we forget about it. So maybe it's 1 year ago, 5 years ago, 10 years ago. Maybe it was when you were a teenager or whatever. You got placed into a position where you didn't probably have the experience, the training, the support. And you figured it out. It probably was tough then. And now it's probably going to be tough. You may have to learn new skills, get used to new people. You may be a little bit intimidated. Yeah, that's part of growth. That's part of growth. But I'll tell you what, you got this because you've done it before. Because however you got into this position, maybe you got promoted, maybe you pushed for it, maybe you stepped into it, maybe you volunteered, or maybe somebody just placed you there. There's probably some evidence that you've been placed there for a good reason. And, the other people around you, maybe you're on a board, maybe you have investors, whoever it is, they all went through this progression as well. You may look at other people and you're like, oh, they must have always been confident. Well, maybe they haven't always been confident. Maybe they have some self-doubt as well. But that doesn't matter because what matters is how you're going to take on this challenge and this opportunity right now. And just like you've done previous times in your life, Now's the time to really start having that faith, inner faith in yourself and inner confidence in yourself. And you know what? You're probably going to screw stuff up, but it doesn't matter whether you screw stuff up or not. It's how you respond to that. So right now, I just want you to commit to being okay being uncomfortable, to being okay asking for help from other people, that can support you, for being okay to not knowing everything right off the bat, to maybe working a bit extra harder right now to learn the skills and the confidence and to get to where you need to be, and to really prepare yourself to go through that, but to tell yourself that you're going to be kind to yourself. And then anytime you catch yourself with that negative self-talk, then you just change that self-talk to say, you know what? I got this. I can do this. It doesn't really matter what your path was to this position. The fact is you're in this position. And the fact is you know that you have great internal skills and talents and you really can have great resolve, and you really care about doing a great job. And that's really all that matters, because when you have those characteristics, you can figure out all this other stuff. And if it helps, call some of your friends, tell them to give you a little bit of pep talk, tell them you're in this position. Maybe they're not work friends, maybe they're personal friends. If you have people like that, have a conversation and tell them what you're going through, and have them tell them all the amazing things that they see in you, because you have that. If you're watching this, you want to grow. I know it. I've worked with so many people. You got this. It may be a little bit difficult. You may have some bumps and bruises and everything, but what makes high achieving people high achieving is they push through that. They learn from that. They have compassion with themselves. They realize that this is their ego trying to figure stuff out on the fly. But you got this. All right, R. Michael Anderson here. I believe in you. I have faith in you. Take that and have that faith in yourself, because you know what? You got this.